Why are you so mean and condescending when you talk to conservatives? You won't change any minds like that.
At least once a week, I get a comment like that sent to my inbox or posted right onto my videos. And I admit, my tone is sometimes pretty harsh. But here's why. I grew up in a small town in the 80s and 90s, where the F word was used to describe people like me on a daily basis without any pushback. And it wasn't just kids either. Adults joined in too. They recognized my queerness and their instinct was to crush it. Even after I left home and moved to the city, the hostility didn't stop. Strangers would yell slurs from passing trucks, and sometimes they would even throw cans at me. I was harassed at bus stops, in parks, on sidewalks, in shopping centers. Literally every public space I went to, I went knowing that I was at risk because I walked a certain way. I talked a certain way. I gestured with my hands. I was obviously gay, and that made me a target. And through it all, I was expected to be grateful that I didn't live in a place where being queer meant prison or death. That was the benchmark for queer rights in 1999. It wasn't until my early 20s that I saw the pattern, and once I connected those dots, I couldn't unsee it. The people who harassed me, threatened me, tried to fix me or make me smaller, they all had one thing in common. They were all politically conservative. Now, I know not every conservative is a bigot, but every bigot I've ever met has been a conservative, and that still holds true today. And let's be clear, it's not liberals banning queer books from libraries. It's not Democrats passing laws to control women's bodies. It's not progressives yelling slurs from pickup trucks or flooding Jan Arden's inbox with death threats. It's not the left trying to erase Black or Indigenous history or clinging to colonial policies like they're sacred. It's not liberals weaponizing religion to justify cruelty. And it's definitely not Democrats calling compassion woke like it's a disease. That's not to say liberals are perfect. We've got our own blind spots. But when I look at who's pushing to dehumanize, control, or silence people, it's not the left. I've spent my entire adult life fighting for equity, diversity, and inclusion, pushing for real, lasting change. I played by the rules of civility, even as those rules were torched by people who never had to play fair because privilege shielded them. So when I challenge conservative talking points or call out the cracks in their ideology, I speak with an edge because conservatives are the ones who've cut me over and over again, and I'm done bleeding quietly to keep them comfortable. Will my tone change minds? Maybe not. But some minds won't change no matter how gently I speak. And they've had decades to learn, grow, and evolve, and most of them have chosen not to. So no, I don't sugarcoat things. When someone starts blaming liberals for everything wrong in this country, especially in Alberta, where conservatives have ruled for all but 4 of the past 120 years, I'm not meeting that with calm tones and careful explanations. I've tried that. It doesn't work. I'm not here to win over conservatives. I'm here to call them out, to draw a line and make it clear that much of their behavior and many of their beliefs are outdated and won't go unchallenged. You don't have to like my tone. And if it offends you, please know that my intention has only ever been to educate. But if my tone stops you from hearing the message, then you need to be honest with me and yourself. You were never open to the lesson, and you're just looking for an excuse to tune out.